Peace and blessings. Namaste. All the light workers and warriors all over the world. I got a quick question for you. What governs your personality? What taught you who and what you are and how to identify with aspects of your own personality? How did you evolve from one place to another in a continual evolutionary spiral? There's a lot of different answers to that question. However, today I'm simply going to focus on the beautiful study of astrology, okay? What it was meant for, how it was created, and how we can use it in a healthy manner, okay, to assist us on our journeys of self-governance. Yes? Okay, let's tap right into it. Is this a rut roll moment? No, not really. Okay, this is one of those that, is just used for educational purposes. And if, once again, if it resonates with you, please go for it. If it doesn't, put it on the back burner. And then later on in life, revisit it again. Okay, and then maybe it'll stick out to you. All right. Our ancestors from Sumer to Egypt to Asia, to Africa, all over, we were fascinated with astronomy, right? And it was during one point in time where astronomy and astrology was pretty much synonymous. It was one science, right? And mankind used it to chart the stars, to navigate, to chart planetary alignments for times and seasons, okay? And we use the stars to try to figure out our place in our galaxy and what the planets were, okay? And how our Earth was rotating and how the sun, where the sun's position was, okay? We did that because this was a way for us to connect ourselves here with the cosmos, because we understand that we are a part of the cosmos, right? And it became a beautiful thing, okay? And a lot of good works came from it. And then later on, during some time, astronomy and astrology kind of became split. Astronomy became an actual science, and astrology became what they considered pseudoscience. And what pseudoscience is pretty much something, or a faux science, or something that can't really be scientifically proven, right? So they call it pseudoscience. Man learned where certain zodiac houses resided in the cosmos, okay? And we also learned, different aspects of what these zodiac houses represented and how they affected human consciousness. Or do they? Well, let's get back to that a little later, okay? So we start to identify with our zodiac sign from the moment of birth, okay? So you have a birthday, then you have, where you were actually born, and some beautiful predictions or aspects of characteristics that are synonymous with maybe that planet's energy will start to resonate with you, okay? And not all of it is false. I mean, for instance, there are some characteristics that I can identify with my nature. My nature, or my zodiac sign, is Scorpio. Right? Now, what do I hear when I disclose to somebody that I'm a Scorpio woman? Oh, occult, dark, sexually charged, right? Those sex, right? Mischievous. Sometimes I hear vindictive, spiteful, forceful, assertive. Okay, loyal, and I'm very loyal, I'm a loyal person. But, all of those dark aspects of my personality, those tend to be the ones that stick out the most when I meet somebody, right? And so they're automatically assuming that I function in these veins of thoughts, okay? But I don't at all. Why? Because if I was to use my astrological sign as a way of self-identifying with myself, I would never grow. Okay? However, on the flip side of that, if I was to take the negative aspects of my sign that is associated with maybe a characteristics that I do indeed have, then that means that it's time for me to work on that in the opposite, so that I rise above the nature of the zodiac. And the zodiac no longer lords or governs me or my personality or my spiritual journey. This is something that we all have the ability to do. The problem is a lot of us don't want to take self-responsibility. Okay, so if you have a zodiac sign that, let's say, is quick-tempered or irresponsible, okay, bad with money, bad with this, that, and the third, and you read that about yourself and you identify that this is an area that you might really be struggling with, what are you going to do about it? Okay, are you going to allow it to just govern your existence? Or are you going to work to get above that? Okay, because that's what we all need to be doing. If you don't take responsibility of your own consciousness, then something else will. Rather it be a person, rather it be a position, rather it be a zodiac or energy, something else will. Okay? Now here's something else that I would like to dispel. Okay, just for your basic understanding. There's seasons where we start freaking out because we call it Mercury Retrograde, right? And it was during this Mercury Retrograde that everybody gets all spooked, right? Okay, because this is supposed to be a time when Mercury actually starts to go backwards and it throws certain things into chaos. And if you are one that are governed by planetary alignments, when this time comes, you automatically start to not make plans, or, something goes wrong, or computer glitches, or this, that, and the third. Why? Because you've made that part of your reality, right? So, first of all, it's important to know that Mercury retrograde is not even a thing. It's an illusion. Now, this might be a rut-row moment, okay? If you're ready to receive it, I'll break this down. All is law, okay? Our ancients knew this, those who studied the stars, those who charted the planetary alignments and their specific rotations, and how everything has to move in a certain order to keep balance and stability in the cosmos that affects not only our planet, but other planets as well. So they all have their order. They all have their divine timing. They all have their own beauty. And it was designed this way so that we can keep natural order and balance in the cosmos. I want you to think very seriously for yourself. What do you think would happen if all planets that are going, according to their law, according to their assignments, okay, and one just decides, I'm going to stop and just go backwards? How do you think that would affect the cosmos as a whole? What do you think would happen? You don't know. I don't know either. That's why I'm asking you. I tried to picture various ways that this could possibly go wrong. The only thing that I can think of is, I don't think it would be a good thing. I don't know if it can cause a vacuum. I don't know if it can cause a collision. I don't know what it will cause, okay? But I do know that none of the planets stop their rotations and go backwards. So what is it that we're actually seeing, okay? Ooh, this goes way, 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 way back to the ancient philosophers and astronomers of our day, when they thought that the Earth was the center of the universe, right? So when they're in their telescopes and they're charting the planetary alignments, they have come to certain points of time where Mercury appears to stop and go in reverse against its natural order. But that illusion is caused by, number one, once we dispel the fact that the Earth is not the center of the universe, the Earth itself is rotating. And number two, there are times when we will see Mercury twice. Why? Because one of its rotations, it will lap the Earth rotations, and we'll see it from the front end, and then we'll see it from the back end. And when we see it from the back end, when it laps the Earth, it appears to be going in reverse, but that's because of where the Earth is turning at the time when they're seeing it. Do you need further evidence? Because I'm not an astrophysicist, but I know one that is, and his name is Neil deGrasse Tyson. He and a lot of other scientists have debunked this long time ago, okay? None of our planets are actually going to stop and go in the opposite direction. And if the time does come that they do start to do that, we are in very big trouble. Very big trouble. And it's not one of the troubles like now my printer's not working. It's not one of the troubles where, oh, now my car engine's not going. It's not one of the troubles where I'm not getting customers or business. That's not the trouble that we'll be in. Trust me. Okay? So I do know from the teachings, of our ancients, and even some of our ancient religious texts, when we have Enoch, when we have Tahuti and Thoth, that is always talking about these houses and how they're all governed by law and how everything is law and it has its order. And we don't go against these laws, okay? Because there are certain laws and principles of the universe that can, if out of balance or if rogue, will cause chaos. So now, if I just explain to you that Mercury retrograde is not a real thing, then what's governing your psychology concerning it? What is making you receive all of the negative energy that comes along with this rotation? I can tell you one of the things it might be your belief system. It might be what you're pulling and bringing into your own reality. The reality that I have? Most of the time, I don't even know when Mercury retrograde exists because I'm too busy living my life, right? And it's only until somebody brings it up, oh, this happened because of Mercury retrograde, that I realize that's even happening. We learn to live above the influence on all aspects, even astrology. And although it can be used and very helpful for us and mankind as a whole, you have to be very careful of what you allow to govern you. Because if you're allowing an energy or star system or a sign to dictate to you who and what you are, then you're a slave to it. You don't evolve that way. But if you can use it to pinpoint certain areas of your life that maybe you identify with and maybe you want to rise above, then you transmute it. And then your astrological sign no longer affects you. And neither does Mercury retrograde. You understand? I'm just trying to get you to a point where you tap into the divine source and you understand who you are and how your mind helps shape your own reality. Your belief systems help shape your own reality and your own spirituality. We rise above it. Okay? That's all I have to say for now. I thank you for stopping by and I love you all. Bye.